Working with oracle cards is a great way to receive guidance, insights into a question that you have, and even gain some clarity around your path in your life or anything that you would like to receive guidance on. It's also a beautiful way to help you develop your intuition even more. The more you work with the oracle cards, whether it's angel oracle cards or even tarot cards, it helps you build your intuition. Now, every single person can work with the oracle cards, so you don't have to be very intuitive to do so, or very connected with the higher realms, or working with the angels or anything like that, or even having to be psychic. Anyone can get started with oracle cards, and the more you actually work with the oracle cards, the more you develop your intuition. And in this video today, I want to share with you how you can use oracle cards, angel oracle cards to be specific, to receive guidance, get insights, gain clarity, and even get questions answered to really help you on your path. Now, the way you can use oracle cards is you can actually do that in many different ways. You can do, let's say, a daily card reading where you just pull one card just to get insights into what's important for you to know for that particular day. You can also ask about a specific question that you have that you would like to receive some guidance on. You can even get guidance around, let's say, the coming week, the coming month, where you get some guidance around just the energies that maybe you need to watch out for. Whatever it is that you really want to know about, like I said, it could be a specific question that you have that you want to get some guidance on. You can do them. There's so many different ways that you can do that, and of course there are also some more evolved spreads that are also included in the booklets that come with the oracle cards. But you can really use oracle cards on a daily basis to really receive guidance around the energies of what's important for you to know today. The way I like to use oracle cards is I do it on a daily basis, just pulling one card to see what's important to know for me that particular day. I also like to do it for the coming week to see, well, what are the energies for the coming week, so I know how to really prepare myself, or what I should look out for, or what to focus on, for the coming week. I also ask about my path, and do a more evolved spread as well. But there are so many different ways that you can use oracle cards. And the beautiful thing about it that I just also mentioned is the more you really work with the oracle cards, it also helps you develop your intuition. And if you want to really work on developing your intuition even more, besides just working with the oracle cards, I also have a video, it's in the description below, with 10 tips on how you can develop your intuition. Because the more you develop your intuition, it's such a beautiful thing, because you can really get that guidance, that higher guidance, that clear guidance, so you never have to wonder or question or ponder about your question, but you will be able to receive guidance, insights, and of course, clarity. Now, by the way, let me know, are you actually working with oracle cards already, and how long have you been working with them? Or are you really just checking things out, wanting to work with oracle cards? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to know. But now, you may wonder, like, well, how do I pick oracle cards? Because there are so many out there. There are oracle cards, angel oracle cards, there are tarot cards. What deck should you go with? Now, I personally do not work with tarot cards. I do not feel drawn to tarot cards. I also found that angel cards, the oracle cards, are easier to read than tarot. But that is my personal opinion, what I feel called to do, what I felt drawn to. But let's say you're really looking for some angel oracle cards. My recommendation for you is go with the one that you really feel most drawn to. What I like to do sometimes is just go on Amazon and just scroll through. I type in oracle cards, and then I really look for the one that really speaks to me. So when I look at the cover of the design, it really needs to speak to me, whether it's the text, the title, or just the image. And then I look at the images, the pictures of the cards before I purchase any card decks. But here it's really just follow your intuition, follow your guidance of which card deck do you feel drawn to. Now, I'm going to show you the two that I really love, that I've been working with for some time now. Is this one here. It's the Oracle of the Angels by Mario Duguay. I hope I didn't butcher the name. This is the one that I have been working with for probably the last 2 years. My newest one is from Kyle Gray, is the Angel Prayer Oracle card. I truly feel very drawn to the both of them. I mean, I think I have about 10 different decks, or maybe more, I don't remember. But it's sometimes you work with a deck for a while and then you feel drawn to a different one. It's perfectly fine, but just follow your intuition, because some card decks are also easier to read than others. Like, I have card decks that I look at it and I don't really get the clear guidance when I really look at the card deck or when I look at the cards. So really go with what you feel called to go with, the card deck that you feel most drawn to. That will be just the right one for you to work with at that time. And like I said, you may then even outgrow that card deck and then choose to go with another one at a later time, you know, later down the road. But as long as you follow your intuition, that's perfectly fine. Now, if you're interested in the two that I just showed you, I put the link in the description below. There's also another one from Kyle Gray that I just came across. I put the link in the description below as well if you do want to check it out. There's some Amazon links there that you can look at if you would like. But really, go with what you feel called to, and it will be just the right one. It will call to you. The right oracle card that is right for you will speak to you, and you just have to listen. You just have to pay attention. So let me share with you the process of how you can really use the oracle cards to really get guidance. Now, this is the process that I have been using. Now, you may have a different process. Feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know how you work with your oracle cards. But let me just share with you the way I have been guided to work with the cards for myself and also with the work that I do. Now, before you get started with the oracle cards, what I like to do is I just take the cards and just hold them in my hand and really connect to them. I put them closer to my heart, close my eyes, really tune in and connect to my heart. I connect to the cards. I imagine white light around me, around my cards, to really cleanse and clear any energies. Sometimes I even knock on the cards like that to just cleanse the energy, to remove any stuck energies. Because when you do card readings for yourself on days that you're not feeling all that great, or maybe even someone else has touched your cards, you want to cleanse them. So by you just holding the cards like this and just knocking on it a couple of times, and just imagining any negative energy coming out of your cards falling away, that is a great thing. Or you can even have, like, if you have a crystal, like I have this one, I don't remember the name right now actually, but these are the cleansing crystals, and I just put them actually on top of them like this and leave them on there for a couple, maybe a couple of hours or whatnot, especially around the new moon or full moon, to really cleanse the cards as well. Or you can even use a smudging stick as well to cleanse the cards as well. But when I start a card reading, I really just tune in. I tune into the cards. I really get centered, really get grounded, really connect to the card to prepare myself and the cards for the reading, to really build that energetic bond. Now, especially if you just got the cards, they're brand new, you do want to do some cleansing, and also look at each card, really like take them apart, because they're going to be sticking together, and just look at each card with intention. Really connecting with the cards is really important to build that energetic bond with you and your cards. Then as you're getting started with the card reading, now of course you want to decide, well, what is it that you want to, what kind of guidance do you want to receive? So you should already know that before you get started. And I'm also about to share with you then, which kind of card spread to then use. But when you're getting ready to get started, you then want to call forth your guides, your angels. I usually say something as simple as, I now call forth my team of guides. I call upon the highest, best, most loving guides, angels, archangels, light beings, ascended masters, and beings of the light who can best support me now in this card reading right now. Please step forward and connect with me now. Please uplift me so I open myself up to receiving the guidance, the insights with this card reading. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then what I do is I start shuffling the cards. And as I shuffle the cards, now these cards are quite big. And I notice, like, usually when you do cards, you kind of shuffle like that. I found that very uncomfortable, so I actually shuffle my cards this way. That way it's comfortable, I can shuffle the cards, and basically as I shuffle the cards, I then focus up on the question I have. Whether it is, now here you can do a 1-card reading, you can do a 2-card reading, or a 3-card reading. Really depends on the kind of situation, but let's say you just want to do a 1-card reading about what is important for me to know today. I focus on the question. Okay, what is important for me to focus on today? what is important for me to focus on today? I imagine shuffling white light into the cards. And then I pay attention to which card stands out. Now, this can be a card like this one right here, just kind of stood out. I then take this one, and right now I actually got the card Leap of Faith. You know, it's quite fitting. And then I just put this down. So basically, you then pick the card that really catches your eye. Now, it could be that you just, as you're shuffling, like I said, one kind of stands out like that, or maybe one just kind of goes sideways, or maybe even if you're just shuffling and you're just seeing one card that really, that that catches your eye. That's the card you want to pull, that you want to pull out. Sometimes you even get 2 cards, which is perfectly fine too. Now let me just share with you the different cards that you can pull, the kind of reading that you can do. So you can do a 1-card reading, which I just did. I just did 1. Usually I do this one for what's important for me to know today. I do this one on a daily basis, just pulling 1 card. Now sometimes I also get 2 cards, but like the 1 card is usually what is important for you to know right now. This is like what you need to focus on. So for me, I just got this leap of faith. Well, I really need to take that leap of faith, really trusting that whatever I feel guided to do, I just need to do that, right? So this is important for me to focus on today, right now, in this moment. This is important for me to know. Now, let's say I do a 2-card reading. Let's say there's another card that kind of catches my eye. Let me see what else comes up. Now I got this one here. What is that? Count your blessings. So basically the 2-card reading, the way this then works is the leap of faith is what is important for me to know right in this moment. What is important now? And then moving forward, what do I need to know, or what do I need to focus on? Well, I need to focus on gratitude. I need to focus on really counting my blessings, that I don't need to worry about anything or whatnot, but really me moving forward, I need to count my blessings. That is the next step moving forward, right? So that is the 2-card spread. Now, let's say you want to do a 3-card spread. There are different variations of what you can do with that. You can do a past, present, future. You can do a strength, opportunity, and challenge. Or you can do beginning of the week, midweek, or end of the week. So let's say what I'd like to do is on Sundays, I do a card reading for the week ahead. So basically then I draw 3 cards. So let's say the 3rd card would be synchronicity, okay? So then I know in the beginning of the week, I need to focus on leap of faith. In the mid of the week, I need to focus on counting my blessings. And towards the end of the week, I need to focus on synchronicity, right? Now, this is how you do a reading for the week ahead, or you can even do it the month, the same thing, like beginning of the month, mid-month, or end of the month. You can do that as well. If you let's say do a card reading about specific questions about, let's say you want to ask about how can I really step into my purpose, or what's important to know for me right now to really step into my purpose. And let's say you're drawing 3 cards. So let me just draw 3 cards right now. So the first one would be balance. The next one is speak your truth, and the 3rd one is move your body. So if we're looking at the strength, opportunity, and challenge here, would be that your strength is balanced, that you're really having balance in your life. So the first card is basically the balance card here, or whatever you're pulling. So the first card is the strength card. That is what you are strong with right now. Then the 2nd card would be opportunity. So here in this one that I just pulled is speak your truth. That is your opportunity. When you speak your truth, that's when you can really step into your purpose more. That's when you can move forward, when you speak your truth. Now the challenge here would be, here I got move your body. So maybe this card would maybe then say, well, if you need to move your body and that's your challenge, maybe you're just more stagnant, you're holding a lot of negative energy within you that needs to be released. So here the guidance would be, as far as the challenge is, you got to move your body more, and that's what you have been challenged with. Now if we're looking at it from past, present, future, then the past was, and past can be just yesterday. It doesn't have to be years ago or a month ago or whatnot, but it's just anything that happened before right now. That the past was balance, then the present is speak your truth. So and then the future is move your body. So before you had really balanced, you were balanced, and right now it's really important for you to focus on speaking your truth, and then moving forward is moving your body. That's how you can do this 3-card reading. Now, let me just share with you real quick about jumper cards. Now, jumper cards is like, let's say you shuffle, and I don't know if it's going to happen right now, but sometimes it doesn't happen. But let's say one just kind of jumps out, right? What that means is that the card that jumped out is a separate one. You want to put that separate. You still want to do your 1, 2, 3 card reading. But then the jumper one, that is like, I mean, it's jumping out. It wants your attention. So let's say this was a jumping card, it's study and learn. Study and learning. So here, let's say if I would have gotten this one in my card reading, it would tell me like, look, focus on studying and learning. This is very important. So jumping cards, when they jump out, that really means is that this is a very important card that you need to definitely put some attention on. Now, of course, if you're getting like 5 cards that just kind of jump out, or an entire stack, doesn't mean that they're all jumpers. That just means that maybe you didn't shuffle right. Okay, usually you get 1 jumper, maybe 2, but anything more than that, that really just means that maybe you need to be get a little better in the shuffling. Like I said, that's why I like to shuffle this way. So it's a lot easier. You see this one card kind of slipped out. So this is, it wouldn't say a jumper card, but that's like a card like, hey, this is, you know, pay attention to it. This is a card that I'm supposed to pull out. But that's basically how you do these card readings, right? And basically then when you have your cards laid out, the way you receive guidance is, what you can do is you can gaze at the card. Like a lot of these cards, like this card deck is really great because it has a title and has a little sentence below that, right? So if you're at the beginning, you may just read the words, you may just read the description below that, or you may even then read the booklet about what is the message here. But then I want to invite you, the more you actually work with these cards, when you just gaze at the card, it will give you insights. It will give you, because the cards are made for you to spark something within you. So that's basically, it sparks your intuition, right? And you really just open yourself up. And it's about allowing the guidance to flow through. It's not about focusing on it intensely and what's the message, but really just gazing at it with an open mind and, okay, studying and learning. Well, what am I meant to learn from this? Okay, so maybe I have not really focused on my studying that much. Maybe there's something that I really need to focus on more to really help me move forward, or whatever the question is in the context of the question you asked. Or let's say if it's like what is important for me to know right now, it's like, okay, I need to focus a little bit more on my learning. But then also allow yourself to go a little further. How does this apply in your life? Well, not just learning, but then also applying what you have learned. Because sometimes, you can dive into learning and studying, but then you're not applying it. So you just gaze at the card. Or for example, let's see the transformation card, right? Transformation is like allow yourself to transform. So here this message could be that look at your life and uncover where are you holding yourself back, where are you allowing limiting beliefs to really hold you back, and then transform that, because you're going through a period of transformation right now, and the more you can really lean into what is coming up will really allow you to really grow and transform from that. And this may also then mean like if you're looking at this card, there's a lot of, it looks like a pot of gold. When you are really allow yourself to transform, that it's like a pot of gold, because then you are really changing your life with that. And if you want to know how to really move forward in your life, how to change your life for the better, and you need to transform, you need to focus on transformation, and at the end of that is really that pot of gold basically. But like I said, allow the guidance to come in. In the beginning you may just get bits and pieces, and then look how does it apply to your life. And if you need confirmation, read the booklet, right? In the beginning, that's how I started. And that's why choosing the right card deck is so important, because I have card decks where I don't get guidance. There's this one card deck from Kyle Gray. I don't remember the name right now. I love the cards, but when I gaze at the cards there, I don't even think there's just a title there. I don't really get much. So I'm not really connected with those cards. I love how they look, but for those, I actually then still choose to check on the reading on the booklet, just to make sure that I'm actually getting the message. But that's when you choose the cards that you really feel in alignment with, that you feel a connection with, that can really help you really get the guidance. But so basically, when you look at the cards, like, you know, think about like, what is your very first impression when you're looking at the card? What word maybe pops out? Also look at the word itself, you know, also pay attention. What feelings does it stir within you? Like when I look at the transformation card, I'm like, okay, I know I'm going through a transformation right now. It's exciting, but also a little scary. Then you can tune in, well, what am I scared of, right? What is being shown to me that I need to then work on to transform? So when you gaze at a card, just allow the answer to flow. And like I said, you know, use the booklet until you really get used to the cards. But the more you work with the cards, the more you get used to the cards, the more you get used to the feeling, the more you connect with the cards, and then the guidance will come a lot easier. And like I said, it also helps you develop your intuition. And check out the video I mentioned about developing your intuition. There's 10 other, or there are altogether 10 tips on how you can develop your intuition. But using the cards is really a powerful way to receive guidance and get insights, and also, like I said, develop your intuition. But one thing I really want to point out is that not to force any answers or guidance, but really allow it to flow. That is really the most important thing here. And then when you're done with the card reading, when you have gone through each of the cards that you did and you are done with it, you got the guidance, then basically thank your guides. Thank your guides. I usually also hold the cards again, and I thank my guides. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the insights. Thank you for any healing, and thank you for any support that I was just given. And then I just, you know, basically put the cards away. Then what you can do then also is take your journal, maybe write it down, maybe even while you are redoing your reading, write down the cards that you have gotten as well. And then maybe you can even do some own channeling about it as well, to write your own guidance or how it applies to your life. Or you don't have to do that either. But then what you might want to do is ground yourself back into the here and now, and really you know, imagine white light all around you, because you have been given a gift. You have been given the guidance, and just really tune into the energy of gratitude. Really be thankful for the guidance that you received, and then just go about your day. Next, write in your journal if you want to, or make note of whatever came up for you. That's perfectly fine, but you don't have to do it. But that's basically how you work with the oracle cards. And like I said in the beginning, if you need to use the booklet, perfectly fine. If you you know, just want to stay with the booklet, perfectly fine. But I do want to invite you, you know, really get connected with each card. Like, you know, maybe one day just pull up your cards and just look at each card and really connect deeply with the cards. That's how you can really create that deeper bond, and then your readings also become more evolved as well, where you then get even more guidance as well. But here you go. That's basically a simple step of how to work with the angel oracle cards. Now, of course, this is not how you're going to work with tarot cards. I don't know how to work with tarot, but right now, today, I really just want to show you how to work with angel oracle cards. If you are more interested in tarot, unfortunately, I won't be able to help you with that, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Now, I want to ask you, what is your favorite angel oracle card deck? Let me know in the description below. I would love to know. Maybe there's even one that I haven't come across yet. So leave a comment below. I would love to know. And also, thank you so much for being here, for watching this video. I'm super grateful for you. Be sure to check out this next video about the 10 tips on how to really develop your intuition so you can be more intuitive and grow your gifts. I really think you're going to love it. Until then, make it an amazingly abundant, successful day. Namaste.